Hello everyone! Welcome back to another 2v2 Warhammer battle. Going to be the Greenskins and the Wood Elves versus the Vampire Counts and the Empire. For my army, it's going to be mostly Savage army. For the front line, we have two Savage Orc normal ones mixed in here somewhere. We have a total of 4 Savage Orc Biggins, 1 Black Orc being led by Skarsnik. I also have a caster back here, the Night Goblin Shaman, normal goblins upgraded a little bit, 2 Savage Orc Arrow Boys, the Rusty Errors, and then over here we have 2 of the Wolf Riders and then 2 Orc Boarboy Biggins. My ally has a lot of upgraded Eternal Guard for a front line. We have 1 Glade Guard, 2 Branch Wraiths, a male Glade Lord on the horse, 2 War Dancers with Azrai Spears, 1 Wildwood Ranger, and then 2 Dryads. For the enemies here, for the Empire, we have a holding force for the melee. We have a couple spears, couple flagellants, Sigmar Suns, 3 rifles, including the Silver Bullets, Volkmar the Grim on his chariot, 2 Reichsguard, and a mortar. And then for the Vampire count is a whole bunch of Graveguard. This is all Graveguard mixed with normal and armor-piercing versions. They're being led by Heinrich Kimmler, Necromancer on a horse, Clawed Nagash. Sorry, we also have an Amber Wizard over here on the Griffin. I don't know if they actually have any spells or not. Yeah, they do. They have the buff spells. And then back here we have a couple Spearmen left off of the Empire. Not entirely sure why the heck they're way over there, but I think they eventually join the rest of their army. Then we also have the Varix Reavers and another Black Knight with lances and barding over there. So that, I think, is everything. The Mortar team is going to be hitting the Wood Elf army here. The Wood Elf is going to be getting into position about right there. I'm going to be joining them as well. And then they're going to have their Glade Guard, I think, start firing at the Handgunners and then the Reichsguard here. I'm going to fast forward this a little bit. Going to be getting, I think I moved these guys up here, maybe? I can't remember. I did pull back the Orc Boy Biggins because we were about to get into a skirmish with these Reichsguard as the Glade Guard trying to hit them. Getting a Savage Orcs in the way, then I'm going to try and pull back and want the Eternal Guard to take the hit, but they're going to pull back the Reichsguard at the last moment there. And yeah, so just kind of a skirmishing as the Mortar team continually hits the front of the Wood Elf line. I don't really want to move up any further because the Wood Elf isn't moving up further right now, so we're just kind of holding in place, but I think I start moving up soon-ish. I was thinking about doing a skirmishing against these rifles, but then I kind of thought against it because, I mean, they're Savage Orc, Arrow Boys, not like Wood Elves with Glade Guard. So my allies going to start marching up, I assume, because they're getting hit by that Mortar team. So I'm like, okay, let's do it. So we're going to start moving up. I'm going to try and disrupt these rifles with my Goblin Wolf Riders to protect our charge up here, especially our Black Orcs, who I imagine these 3 rifles are going to be trying to focus down because they are one of the biggest threats in this melee line. We're going to get into range of the guns, so the fire at will is just going to take effect and hit the Goblin Wolf Riders. So we're going to again try and charge in here, but we're going to get counter-charged with the Amber Wizard. You can see the front line going up here, Reichsguard going up here. And we're going to try and just keep moving. I just want to disrupt these rifles, not exactly kill them. So we're going to kind of move down the line like that. Get our Orc Boarboy Biggins over here as well. And again, but we are going to be terrified by... Is it Volkmar terrifies? Yeah, Volkmar on the chariot's going to terrify us. But they will come back, and now we're going to try and engage in melee with the Savage Orcs. Wood Elf is moving up to meet the bunch of Graveguard. And again, my mobile force is going to be going and flanking around. Reichsguard in the middle of the battle. We're going to try and pin down the Amber Wizard with Skarsnik and the Black Orcs and Savage Orcs. These goblins came back, and I think I start sending them in a wide arc around to flank the enemy, or do rear charge. Almost catch these handgunners fully, but we're going to get intercepted by the Tattersouls and Sigmar Suns there. But I'm going to try and do as much as I can to apply pressure to these rifles. We can't allow 3 handgunners free reign of fire. Meanwhile, Volkmar is going to be back here amongst my archers doing some chariot stuff. I think I'm going to send my goblins up here soon. Graveguard are now intermixed with the Eternal Guard. We have the Knights coming in behind. I think they're going to try and shut down the Glade Guard, and then they're going to try and get towards my archers. As far as the melee force, the Empire is outgunned here in terms of the melee infantry, so we are winning that fight right now. Although my Orc Boarboy Biggins are getting kind of killed here and terrorized by the Amber Wizard and the Spearmen that were nearby. And again, I'm going to try and get a wide flank. We're trying to pull back our Orc Boys, meet them up with these Goblins. We're going to try and get this force here. 2 Savage Orcs managed to pierce through the middle of the formation, and we're going to try and just chase these handgunners. You do not want the handgunners to just sit there and fire at you for days. Going to try and do some damage to Volkmar the Grim here with the Rusty Errors and the Savage Orcs. Not getting too much damage done, though, because the Amber Wizard casts the protection spells here, Wistion's Wild Form. We also have Face Bashing going down, so they are kind of resisting a lot of damage there. Meanwhile, we have the Varix Reavers, I think, may do a rear charge here. But they are currently, maybe not. They're just being chased by some Eternal Guard. Speaking about my ally, the Eternal Guard are kind of holding in places. Wildwood Rangers getting kind of crushed here against these Graveguard with great weapons, and maybe they got rear charged by some knights, I can't remember. But for the most part, in this type of matchup, the Graveguard kind of have the edge in a 1v1 against the Eternal Guard, because Graveguard can be healed by Invocation of the Heck, and the Eternal Guard are not really damage dealers as much as they are just kind of a holding force, but they are fighting as much as they can. Meanwhile, back here, still putting pressure on these handgunners, trying to do it with the Wolf Riders, but they get terrorized by the Amber Wizard, who's way back here, because I think one of the Wolf Riders is still here, so like the model was still in the AoE. So they get terrorized away from the handgunners, so we're going to have to try and put them back on there. This one just routed because they're Wolf Riders, and they're not that, you know, they don't have the highest of morale. Over here, I'm trying to assist my Wood Elf ally with these Varix Reavers, and I was trying to get some shots on the Call and Nagash there as well, but it's going to get out of range. Meanwhile, we have Volkmar the Grim just kind of go in the middle of the Savage Orc. We're going to try to peel off around here to get away from these spears and the flashlands, because the thing that we want to kill are these handgunners. And you can see I'm still applying pressure to them with our Orc Boy Biggins, trying to get our Goblins over here. We're trying to chase these guys down with this Savage Orc over there. And the front line of my allies' Wood Elf force is kind of getting overwhelmed at this point with just all of the Graveguard. Again, they have the healing, they have the Claw and the Gash, and the Wood Elves don't really have the tools to fight this specific build of the Vampire Counts. And you can see a lot of their Eternal Guards have kind of been beaten at this point. My Savage Orcs are taking a beating, my God Wolf Riders taking a beating. We are still trying to apply pressure to these handgunners. We're not letting them get any shots off. We are cleaning up the rest of the infantry that is over here, and then we're going to be moving our forces that way. Volkmar's going to get a lot of good charges back here against my Savage Orc Air Boys, and the rest of the areas who are now focusing on, again, helping my allies trying to wipe out some of these forces over there with my archers. Still trying to kill out the handgunners. We managed to rout one of them, or is this a spearman? That was a spearman. But we have done a lot of damage to the handgunners. Now we're getting Skarsnik and some more Savage Orcs into these silver bullets. We're going to get charged in the rear. But we also have some Orc Boy Biggins. I think this guy's going to be joining the fray as well. Trying to pull more forces over here to get around Skarsnik. You can see handgunners going to be finishing off these Savage Orcs. Still trying to do what I can to assist my ally, but my ally's infantry has kind of been crushed at this point, unfortunately. And Volkmar's going to come over here and do another charge through with the chariot. You can see the War Dancer is going to try and intercept him, do some good damage. Meanwhile, my Night Goblin Shaman is leading the charge. I'm not entirely sure why all these Savage Orcs didn't engage. I did click the attack order, but I don't know. Maybe I just did a move war instead. But some of them are fighting. Trying to get these Black Orcs over here to finish up the Reiksguard, and the Amber Wizard going to try and get Skarsnik on the Amber Wizard because it does have armor piercing and bonus versus large. In terms of the handgunners, this one's way out here, but has been dealt a heavy blow. These goblins are going to be chasing these handgunners all the way over there. They're just going to keep chasing them for days. Meanwhile, Volkmar is continuing to do rear charges on us. The Black Knights are now over here into our Savage Orc Air Boys, and I'm mostly focused with micromanaging over here, trying to keep pressure on these handgunners. So we're going to get hit by the Banishment over here, and that just does so much ridiculous amount of damage to the Savage Orc Air Boys. So my archers, for the most part, are going to be taken out. This guy's going to come back for routing, and we're going to run him back over here. I think I get these Savage Orcs here soon-ish. These Spearmen are going to come back into battle soon. We deal so much damage to the Amber Wizard, but they are going to be able to escape. We did manage to rout off the Reiksguard, but I think they do come back over here. Handgunners are back. These handgunners are back, so we're going to try and get these Savage Orcs into them. These Savage Orcs into them. We're going to charge Skarsnik up the middle of the line, trying to finish up the human player. We do still have some Sigmar Sons, some Spears, and Volkmar, of course, is back here. He's going to be causing some more trouble back there. But I am more focused on these handgunners still. And this is about when I looked over to try and actually see what the Vampire Count player had remaining. And it's not good. They have a Claw on the Gash. Heinrich's fine. Necromancer's fine. They still have a ton of Graveguard, although a lot of them are damaged. But the thing is, you have Invocation of the Heck as the Vampire Count. So I think they're actually going to get one off here relatively soonish. My ally still does have the male Glade Lord that's on the Horus. Some War Dancers over here dealing with the Graveguard. Going to pull up my archers when I can. I don't think they're really going to do too much at this point, though. Night Goblin Shaman being chased by these melee forces, but he will come back for a third time. Routing off these silver bullets finally. Now we're chasing these handgunners. Black Orcs were caught by the damn zombie because this Necromancer ran up here and stopped them. So we're trying to get away from the zombie. There's really no point in fighting them, but at the same time we are getting hit by the zombie, so it kind of sucks out of the way. And now the Call of Nagash is coming up here, so we're going to try and pin it down, but they are going to actually retreat it before I get surrounded. The Glade Lord will make it out of this fight because they're on a horse. We managed to finish off those handgunners, so we're going to be pulling the goblins back and chasing these handgunners with these two Savage Orcs. But we are kind of getting spread out here because I really wanted to take out that Call on the Gash. So we're going to get pinned down by these zombies. I think I start pulling out here soon. I think. And again, this guy does come back. Eventually these forces are pulled back over this way. Archer's doing what they can, but there's really not much left. Eternal Guard, and I think some War Dancers are in here still, trying to finish up the Black Knights and the Grave Guard that were there. There is still a lot of Vampire accounts left. Amber Wizard's still up, and Volkmar's still at full right now. It's gonna be a tough fight, to say the least. Finishing up these Reichsguard are going to charge into our Black Orcs. Going to get Skarsnik over here. And yeah, really not much left going on back in this direction. But again, this guy did come back from routing, so we're going to have some more spells for the next battle here for the Black Orcs. Going to cast, what is that again? Itchy Nuisance on the enemy. Charging in with Skarsnik and the Black Orcs. Then we're going to try and pull back and get this Claw in the Gash. We're also going to wall to try and get as many hits on the Claw in the Gash as we can. Back here, the Male Glailor is going to join us in trying to rout these handgunners, so I'm going to eventually pull back these Savage Orcs and these Goblins. One of the Skarsnik's abilities going on those Graveguard. Nice one. Now I'm going to pull Skarsnik onto the Claw and the Gash. And I'm also casting, I will be casting some buff spells on Skarsnik here soon. From our Night Goblin Shaman that's still over here. There they go. So sneaky stabbing. But more zombies are going to be summoned, and I think even more zombies are going to be summoned after that. A lot of dudes you have to kill, and the Black Orcs are out. But Skarsnik is doing a lot of good damage to the Claw and the Gash, but they are going to be able to pull the Claw and the Gash out of there. Because Skarsnik is going to be held in place by these zombies and Graveguard. There goes Invocation of the Heck. Meanwhile, back here, Volkmar is casting another Banishment and is going to try and wrap up my archers. You got the Eternal Guard and War Dancers going over there to try and kill him. Keeping the Night Goblin Shaman way out of this combat and just use them as a buffer debuffer, which here goes another Itchy Nuisance. And again, Skarsnik did a lot of good damage to the Claw and the Gash, but there are just so many units around here. Trying to get my Savage Orcs over here, but we're going to have to fight with these Graveguard. And yeah, Volkmar's still alive out there. And now Skarsnik is just kind of forced to fight these guys. I think there's a couple summon zombies in here. Yeah. And, you know, I'm not saying that the writing is on the wall, but the writing is on the wall. That's a lot of vampire forces to still take out. We're going to do a charge. But especially with the Claw and the Gash alive, the hero's still at full health. It's not looking good. Glailord's going to be back here pelting, I think, Heinrich Himmler, maybe. Trying to pull Skarsnik over here to support the fight, but still getting held on by all these zombies. And we are going to rout for a loss. So good game to Davina, Viking, Cat, and whatever this Spec Ops, TM, GT, whatever that is. So my force, the front line did pretty well in destroying the forces of the human, obviously except for Volkmar, who we didn't get to finish off. But we took care of most of the other ones, but lost a lot in exchange, so we did not have enough to finish off the vampire count forces for kind of like a second battle after the initial battle against the humans. Let's see, the Wood Elves got some decent amount of kills. But the thing is, I think this build was made maybe to counter like a more monster-heavy vampire count, and the vampire count this time decided to go just Graveguard. That's really mostly all they went. And so this build kind of hard counters what's going on over here. Because again, these Eternal Guard would probably be a lot better against a bunch of like Cryptors and stuff, just due to the nature of their anti-large. We have like everything here is anti-large except for the Dryads. The branch rates were spread out, I'm assuming, to get that +8 melee attack to the Eternal Guard and like War Dancers or and Wildwood Rangers. But yeah, I just think that this Graveguard build just kind of countered the Eternal Guard and anti-large build that the Wood Elf player went for, unfortunately. But like that's the thing, like army makeup is a big deal, and most vampire counts go heavy on the monsters. This one did not, and it paid off pretty well for them. And then I didn't allow the handgunners to do too much, as you can see here reflected in their kills, but Volkmar got 200 kills, which is insane, just charioting around. Reichsguard did pretty well. Mortar's team almost fired, I think, all their shots, so they did pretty well. And the front line did hold off my army long enough so that I was not able to crush their entire army quick enough to then help my ally. So they did their job well. They held my army off long enough, and that's all they needed. So again, good game to everybody. I hope you enjoyed the battle. Let's watch a cinematic view.
Nice one!
Let's fight! Run, boys! Bring us to battle! Run, boys! Let's have some! Let's get some!
Running! Good plan! Doing it! Moving fast! They're using magic! Moving fast!
Ooh, there it is. Yeah, they definitely got recharged by some Black Knights there. Ouch.
Goal says yes! Let's fight! Now, boys! Let's fight! Whoa!
Moving fast!
Run, boys!
Attack!
Let's get some!
Running! Get it!
Fight back, buddies!
Bring it on board!
Running!
Bad cop!
Let's do nothing to help! Spell stand! Moving fast!
We're off! Smash 'em!
Get going! Moving fast!
Run, boys!
Legging it!
They're off! Shifty! Shifty!
Oh, did they just rout? No, you almost got him. You finally almost got him.
Running!
Smash 'em! Let's go!
Wah!
We're off! Slower!
Running! I'll do it! Yes!
Moving fast!
Moving fast!
Your time!
And if only this entire unit was actually fighting.
Smash 'em!
Nice one!
Yeah, boys! Time for slaughtering!
Get up!
Boys!
Stab him up!
Boys!
Cast magic against them! Let's get nasty! Legging it!
Let's get up!
I'll kill him all!
Run, boys! Moving fast! Time for slaughtering!
Running! Leaving!
Slaughter! Shifting! Get out, boys!
I'm up running! Licking it! The gods have abandoned us!
Boys!
Ah, that's when our black horse get caught.
Shifting! It's moving fast!
Sorcery! Running! Let's kick 'em in!
Moving fast! Leaders to battle! Run, boys!
Knife 'em!
This way!
Licking it!
Shifting!
Running! Licking it! I'm on it! The winds rise against us!
Moving fast!
Running high! Watch your flanks! Beware the wizard! Killing time! Right then! I have a plan! On it! Enemy wizard spotted! I'll do it! Attack!
Get out, boys!
Keep your heads down, men! They're casting spells!
Poor Skarsnik. All by himself.
They're dead! Look out! Moving spellcaster! Keep your heads down, men! They're casting spells! Oh, get him! Running!
Shifting!
Beware the wizard! I'm on it!
Let's get some!
Milk wants it!
Time for slaughtering! Let's get him!
Running! Licking it! Running! This stinks!
And then they break. You cowards! But thanks again for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you all next time. Take care.